As a result of time and energy constraints, it is often difficult for educators to connect to, collaborate with, and share professional knowledge amongst colleagues throughout the year. In dialogue with the school administrator, an opportunity utilizing Web 2.0 technologies to implement an initiative to enhance collaboration surrounding student learning and increase knowledge sharing amongst my colleagues was identified. One of my primary goals was not to add to the workload of the members of this professional learning community. With this in mind, it was determined that a planned staff book study would be integrated with Cycle 1 of the Action Research. The task then became a search for a Web 2.0 tool that could effectively and efficiently facilitate the book study. I narrowed my search to 4 potential web-based tools. These tools would facilitate discussions using a discussion board technology, would allow us to have fewer meetings, not more, and would allow all members of the community to contribute to the dialogue. All the Web 2.0 tools had advantages and disadvantages. Ultimately, I decided on LearnCentral.com, a social learning network tool for educators. I chose this tool because it was aesthetically familiar to users of sites such as Facebook. It was effective for my immediate discussion board needs and had the most potential for expanding this initiative into other areas of workplace collaboration. Enhanced collaboration in the workplace was linked in several research studies to the use of Web 2.0 technologies. The tools pointed to most often included wikis, online collaborative documents, e-journals that could be discussed by peers, and to a lesser extent, social networks. The researchers reviewed also highlighted several impediments surrounding the increased use of these tools. Further research-based insight into the effectiveness of specific tools for specific tasks needs to be garnered in the workplace. Enhanced collaboration was also evident in schools discussed throughout the review of literature surrounding professional learning communities. A definitive definition of a PLC was not gained in the review of literature, but an understanding of why one does not exist was stressed in much of the research. The focus in a PLC, or professional learning community, is not on a defined model, but the process through which one comes to exist. Characteristics common to professional learning communities include a shared vision, collective responsibility of student learning, and collaboration focused on learning. The target audience for this action research project was the instructional staff at a kindergarten through 5th grade magnet school in Chattanooga, Tennessee. This includes 21 classroom teachers, related arts staff, instructional assistants, exceptional education teachers, reading interventionists, curriculum designers, and the school's 2 administrators. The majority of the staff is using social networking sites in their personal lives, but have yet to extend the use of these tools into their professional lives. The school is a Title I designated school with 98% of the students qualifying for free or reduced lunch. In efforts to achieve high levels of performance for every student, much time during and after school is designated for professional development and planning. Participants were asked to engage in 2 cycles of action-based research. Each cycle included a pre-survey and a post-survey. The quantitative survey asked participants to reflect on the school climate surrounding collaboration. The primary instructional goal of Cycle 1 was to introduce, support, and encourage the participants as they began using the online social network being hosted at Learn Central. The participants were trained to use the tool and use it to facilitate an online book discussion. This exercise served as a model for how the site would be used in future cycles and endeavors. Cycle 1 of the action research called upon the affective learning domain, an internal state that affects an individual's choice of action towards some object, person, or event. In this case, participants were asked to choose ways in which to utilize the online social learning network platform as a tool for increased collaboration and shared knowledge. Participants were asked to use the features of the social learning network, Learn Central, to engage in collaborative efforts surrounding student learning, and in addition to using the site as a source of knowledge sharing. As a result, several learning objectives were accomplished during this cycle. Participants used the knowledge and skills gained during an on-site training surrounding the use of Learn Central to engage in an online book study. Participants used the online book study as a model for how to develop new ways to incorporate the platform into their personal and professional lives. Participants responded to a series of questions surrounding the book and provided feedback to their colleagues. Now, the primary instructional goal of Cycle 2 was to support and encourage the participants as they took ownership of the online social network being hosted at Learn Central. The participants were trained to use the tool and were provided a model for use when they use it to facilitate Cycle 1's online book discussion. As a result, the Cycle 2 expectation for participants was to find dynamic ways in which to use the tool to enhance collaboration surrounding student learning and knowledge sharing. Participants were asked to take ownership of the social learning network in ways they found effective. Tools available for use on the social learning network included profile creation and maintenance, discussion boards, document sharing, virtual meeting rooms, sharing walls, and more. It was the researchers' hope that by taking more ownership of the site, participants would continue to enhance collaboration and knowledge sharing in new and innovative ways. Instructional support was provided in an ongoing, as-needed basis. A pre-survey was sent prior to beginning Cycle 1 to all members of the community. Participants were then asked to engage in the same survey at the conclusion of Cycle 1. This survey was meant to help participants think about and assess the condition of the collaborative culture currently present at their school. The survey was based in part on an article, Building Professional Communities in Schools, written by Sharon Cruz, Karen Seashore Lewis, and Anthony Burke. The quantitative research survey allowed for a comparison to be made between participants' attitudes toward collaboration within our professional learning community prior to and post participation in our online collaborative engagement. The survey made evident that collaboration was enhanced as a result of participation in Cycle 1, the action research. 19 of the participants engaged in the survey before and after Cycle 1 of the research. Significant increases were shown in the following areas surveyed. Teachers have common spaces, rooms, or areas for discussion of educational practices both online and off. Teachers utilize collaborative structures, both online and offline, to produce materials and activities that improve instruction, curriculum, and assessment. Within the school, there are formal methods for sharing expertise among faculty members, both online and offline, so that each member can improve his or her practice. Collaboration is enhanced with my colleagues through the use of Web 2.0 technologies. Teachers value opportunities to share, observe, and discuss each other's teaching methods and philosophies. Participants were asked to engage in this reflective survey once more at the conclusion of Cycle 2. And despite numerous requests, participants were not able to complete the survey as requested. As a result, any speculations as to the effects of Cycle 2 are inconclusive. However, anecdotally speaking, Cycle 2 participants did engage in the creation of content for the social learning network as requested and outlined by my learning outcomes. Evidence of enhanced collaboration and knowledge sharing can be found throughout the Learn Central platform in the form of committee resource pages, discussion boards on various topics, sharing of online resources, and documents. In conclusion, social learning networks like LearnCentral provide an effective platform for enhancing collaboration and knowledge sharing within a professional learning community. One of the critical components of a professional learning community gleaned from the review of literature is a school community where all stakeholders have value. One participant highlights the importance of finding value amongst colleagues in her reflection of the cycles. I think that Elijah's introduction of our staff to LearnCentral was a timely, well thought out, well delivered endeavor. There has been more discussion and reflection than there ever has been at CDESA. In spite of the fact that a few staff members chose not to participate, I think the response was overwhelmingly positive. I particularly enjoyed the comments from people who I might not normally hear from, either from shyness or a lack of overlap. Way to go, Elijah. Thank you. I think the introduction of the LearnCentral website discussion has been great. Often technologies such as these are seen as replacements for structures found in the workplace. Alternatively, I think they can be viewed as enhancements. In the case of a social learning network, participants were able to contribute to the collaborative dialogue within their own time frame, free of the burden of yet another meeting where they stayed quiet and unheard just so things could end faster.